But you know when she goes out the room, you're like,
Yeah, she ate it.
not just why she ate fucking dinner. Right, are we ready? Yeah. For my secret of the week. It may not blow your socks off, but it's big in our house. Okay. So it's Dottie, obviously.
Of course.
Of course.
Who else?
She ate a sausage.
What?
She ate a sausage.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
She's never eaten a sausage in her life. She is 6 years old and she has never eaten a sausage in her whole life. Not just only eating one sausage, she ate 2 sausages. She also asked for it for dinner the next night. And may I add, the next night she ate 2 whole fucking sausages.
Sorry, you have been sleeping on sausages because that is a key dinner for Joseph.
But I will happily cook it. So I've got a confession to make, right? I've been on this journey with my social media and I've always spoken really honestly about Dottie's relationship with food.
Yeah.
Isn't great. It's not great. And I used to get really upset about it. I used to get really, really bothered about what she was eating. Was she having enough nutrition? She wouldn't eat any meat. And it got to the point where I found myself kind of forcing her to eat food and actually really distressing her. And it got to maybe she was probably about 4 when I just said to Chris, do you know what? I'm not bothered. If she's not eating meat, let's not just give her any meat. Let's just give her food that doesn't have meat in it. And again, she plateaus. Sometimes she eats really great, sometimes she doesn't. But I've officially come to the sense of, do you know what? I don't really give a fuck anymore. And that's not me saying that I don't give a shit about her health because I don't want anyone to misconstrue what I'm saying. But I really don't care for people that have such an opinion on what your child eats. Do you know what I mean? So now I'm so at one with myself and so at peace. And the other night I cooked sausages. So Dottie is very, she doesn't really like the smell of foods. So if you're cooking a spag bowl, she'll take herself away to her bedroom and she'll sit in her bedroom because she doesn't like the smell of it, which is completely understandable. Yeah. And we're kind of just going with her because I don't want to cause a problem around food. We don't bring any attention to it. She just says, oh, the dinner's a bit smelly, I'm going to go and sit in my bedroom. And I'm like, that's fine. I don't bring anything to it. So the other night I cooked sausages. She was like, it's a bit smelly. I'm going to go into the bedroom. And I was like, okay then. And then the next night I warmed the sausage and mash up for Colby. And she sort of peeked out the door and she was like, something smells strange, but it smells nice. I said, I just warmed up the sausages for Colby's dinner. And then we went on to talk about what she wanted. And then that night when we went to bed, she was like, I think I'd like to try sausages for dinner.
So she hasn't been eating meat for
She'll eat a chicken nugget from McDonald's, but she's convinced they're vegetarian.
Okay.
That's it.
All right.
She'll sometimes eat a pork noodle because the pork mince are really, really
tiny,
fine.
and
I feel like they're not fatty, but not dry. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I feel like it's not. She occasionally is like a sausage roll, but I again think it's processed. But she fully had a sausage and asked for it. So the next day, I said to Chris at bedtime, I'll come out to the lounge. I was like, she's asked for a sausage for dinner. He said, you are fucking joking. I was like, no, she's asked for one for tomorrow night's dinner. So I went out specially, got her the sausages, exact same sausages. I thought, I'm not going to...
Do you do proper bangers or chipolatas?
No, they were
Chunky.
bangers. Yeah, they were banger sausages. So I went out and I got them. And all day while she was at school, I was just like, oh my God, I can't believe she's coming home and having this. So I did sausage and mash and I put it on her plate. And she doesn't like her food to touch. So I did the sausages, the mash and the peas. Both Colby and Dottie don't eat their food together. Like I would have a bit of mash, bit of sausage, bit of peas, smothered in gravy, shove it in my ash.
I think a lot of kids do that.
Whereas they
separately.
they eat everything individually. So she ate all the mash and I was like, ate all the peas. And I was like, I don't want to, I didn't say, oh, you've eaten any of the sausage there. And I just thought I'll leave her to it. And she went with one bit. And honestly, she was like, this is dinner's absolutely delicious. And then she finished the whole lot. Honestly, I thought I was going to cry. And I was like, how was that for you then? And she was like, yeah, I'll have that again tomorrow night, please. But she said, I don't want mash.
Every night
I would like crumpets. So I was like, oh, I'll do you sausage and
crumpets.
Sausage and crumpets. I thought, do you know what? I'm not gonna.
Don't rock the boat.
She loves a picky plate. So I did crumpets with cucumber, fruit, and the sausages on the side. Again, demolished the whole plate.
But now does she want sausages every day?
She doesn't actually want them every day. No, I was thinking
breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
Something I am finding with Dottie is she'll eat something until she's sick of it.
Yeah.
So we don't eat sandwiches anymore because she doesn't like a sandwich. She's not bothered about them. So we rotate between a pain au chocolat, a brioche, or a croissant, and that's what she has in her lunchbox. She'll eat brioches till she's sick to death of them. Then she'll move on to a pan au chocolat till she's sick of them. And do you know what? I've just noticed her pattern, and I just go with her because I just think it's just not worth the stress. Lunchbox every single day. She has exactly the same thing every day. But sometimes she doesn't even want dinner. And I'm just like, do you know what? If you don't want dinner, don't have dinner.
I stress about them being hungry though. In the
I do
night.
stress about it being, but I do. And this is the problem, is that I would get myself so upset about her not having enough to eat or not having food. But she always, and I say to her every time, if you're hungry, you need to just tell me, like, tell me. We have been doing a glass of milk and a biscuit before bed. They like a little hot chocolate or a glass of milk before bed. And then that, in my mind, even though to her it feels like a treat, in my mind I think, oh, okay,
she's filling up a bit.
She's filling up a little bit. Yeah. But like some nights now, she just says, Mum, I just want toast for dinner. Do you know what? I'm just like, I can't, I'm not going to argue with her.
I know.
And it has got to the point where we don't really go out for dinner anymore because she gets very overwhelmed with everybody's food on the table.
Yeah.
So if we were to sit down as a family with all of our food at the table, she gets really overwhelmed by that. It's not just visually, but it's all the smells. And she'll just be a bit like, I can smell everyone else's food.
So does she have her dinner at her own time at home, or does everyone have dinner at the
She
same
tends
time?
to have hers just a little bit more, but the children eat together, and then me and Chris eat a little bit later.
Yeah.
It might be on a Sunday where we all eat together, but them two sit together up the top.
It's so great when they
it's
start
really
having something that they haven't previously had. Stefan sent me a meme the other day, and it was like, when your toddler finally eats something that they haven't eaten for years, or they've never eaten before, and it's like, you daren't look at each other. You
daren't look.
Just like,
we were just sat in the lounge.
Don't say anything.
Yes.
Don't upset them. Just
don't raise attention to it.
Don't breathe.
Talk to her. Don't ask
just
her.
Chill.
Just don't look at. And like, we were sat in the lounge, like opposite each other, and I was like, and Chris was like, and I was like, and then when she done it, and I was just like, oh, well done, darling, that's great. What are you having for dessert? But you know, when she goes out the room, you're like, yes, she ate it. That's not just one, she ate back in there.
And she wants it again tomorrow.
Yeah, so I had to make Chris especially go to Tesco's as well to go and get the sausages. I was like, I've got to pick the same fucking sausage.
Buy 25 sausages. Go, go, go.